My family banned me from Thanksgiving, so I canceled their resort reservations. The first frost of November clung to the edges of my kitchen window, catching the morning sun like shards of light through broken glass. I stared blankly through the steam of my coffee, the warmth in my hands contrasting the chill that had seeped into my chest. The text was still open on my phone. "Hey Sarah, after talking with everyone, we think it's best if you sit this Thanksgiving out. There's just too much tension. Hope you understand." My sister Rachel didn't even call, just a neatly worded message, like I was some stranger politely uninvited from a dinner party. After 34 years of always showing up, of cooking side dishes even when I was exhausted, of being the emotional glue of our family, I was suddenly too much. I won't lie, it hurt. No, it shattered something in me. Not because I wanted the turkey or the endless political debates or even the board games. I wanted the illusion that I mattered to them. That despite our arguments, despite the mistakes I'd made, I still belonged. And maybe that's what this was about. The argument last Easter when I called out Dad for mocking my job after I quit corporate to teach music to underprivileged kids. Or maybe it was when I refused to lend Rachel money again, not out of spite, but because I simply couldn't. Whatever the reason, I'd become an inconvenience to them. So they planned a Thanksgiving getaway to a mountain resort, without me. The irony? I booked it for them. As the organized one, I'd used my credit card to reserve the whole thing 6 months ago. It was supposed to be my gift. A thank you for sticking together through the pandemic, for surviving Mom's cancer scare, for all the little ways we showed up. But I guess showing up doesn't always mean you're invited. I stared at the booking confirmation still sitting in my email. Non-refundable, fully paid, under my name. I had every reason to cancel out of anger. The thought did flicker across my mind, and I'll admit, for a brief, bitter moment, I wanted them to show up and be turned away. But that's not what I did. Instead, I called the resort. "Hi, I'd like to transfer the reservation to someone else." "No, not my family. A different group entirely." The clerk paused. "Ma'am, it's Thanksgiving week. That's premium time." "I know. That's why I want it to go to people who really need it." I spent the next 3 hours calling shelters, community centers, and nonprofits until I found one that ran programs for foster kids aging out of the system. The coordinator, Maria, was stunned. "You're offering a luxury resort for free?" "Yeah," I said, my voice trembling. "They deserve a good Thanksgiving." 24 hours later, 6 young adults, all aged 18 to 22, who had never had a real family holiday, were packing bags for a mountain escape. I sent over grocery credit and a list of my favorite board games. I even arranged for a local chef to come cook a Thanksgiving meal with them. Then, I turned off my phone. That night, I sat alone on my apartment balcony with a blanket around my shoulders and a glass of wine in hand. The city sparkled below me, full of stories, laughter, and maybe other people like me, quietly discarded, left to pick up pieces in silence. But for once, I didn't feel bitter. I felt lighter. I didn't need to punish my family. They'd done that to themselves, whether they realized it or not. In trying to preserve their own comfort, they'd missed the point of Thanksgiving entirely. 3 days later, I received an email from one of the foster youth. His name was Jamal. He wrote, "Miss Sarah. I've never had a holiday that felt like it was meant for me. It was always someone else's house, someone else's family, and I was just a guest waiting to be moved again. But this weekend, it felt like the world paused just for us. We cooked, we laughed, we hiked, and for the first time in years, I didn't feel broken. I don't know what happened that made you give us this chance, but I hope someday I can do something like this for someone else. Thank you, for seeing us. For giving us a memory. For being kind when you didn't have to. Happy Thanksgiving. Jamal." I cried. Not the sad, silent kind, but the messy, gut-deep kind where your whole body lets go. That email healed something my family had cracked. Jamal reminded me that kindness is a language not everyone speaks, but when it's spoken, it echoes forever. 2 weeks later, Rachel called. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail, "Hey, we found out what you did with the resort." I don't know what to say. Everyone was angry when we showed up and couldn't check in. But then we saw the pictures. The videos. Heard what you did. I think we owe you an apology. Not just for this. For a lot of things. When you're ready. I hope you'll let us talk. I listened to the message 3 times. Then I saved it. I didn't call back, yet. Forgiveness takes time. Trust takes longer. But I wasn't bitter. Because for once, I realized the holiday wasn't about a seat at a table. It was about what you bring to the world when you get up from it. So this year, I started a new tradition. I called Maria again. I told her I wanted to sponsor another group next Thanksgiving. And maybe the one after that. Because family isn't just who you're born to. Sometimes, it's who you choose to lift up when no one else does. And as for my own holiday, I invited 2 of my students, both immigrants with no relatives here, to join me for dinner. We cooked together, burned the sweet potatoes, and laughed until midnight. That night, I gave thanks, not for what I'd lost, but for what I'd found. A deeper meaning. A bigger table. A fuller heart. And maybe that's the true magic of kindness, it multiplies when you give it away.